And as we're waiting for this to upload and go live, let us know where you're calling from, where you're dialing in from, your name and location. And it's lovely if you select everyone so that we can all feel into your energy here and connect with you. Wow, it's saying private again on YouTube. So I'm just going to change this to public, but keep coming in. Oh yeah, it's saying public. That's grand. Okay. So if there's anyone over on YouTube, let us know, and let us know if you can join the chat so that we know that it's working, because something really funky is happening here. Live, let's see. Oh yeah. Okay, we've got, I don't know if I'm live twice or not at all. Or we're there. Let us know. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, hopefully you can chat over on YouTube. Great. Karen Ashtown, welcome. You're the first over on YouTube to say hello. And Andrea, hey, it's working. Just a few glitches. It's so wonderful to be here. And it's so wonderful. Wow. Oh my goodness. Just these, so many of you here while I was having that wobbly moment going live on YouTube. Nothing is going to stop us from speaking about the Golden Grail, the rise of the Magdalene witches. And I am your host, Eimear Stassin. I am a sacred storyteller, a soul-based coach, and an earth witch. And there'll be more about that in this upcoming live broadcast and the opening celebration for this soul gathering as we enter into the portal of summer solstice. And at the same time, we are opening the portal for the Golden Grail. And in this webinar, you're going to get to experience what that actually is, what it means, and most likely you'll end up with more questions as well on this quest to return home to the Golden Grail, to reconnect with the Magdalene witch within us, or however you resonate, and to call all of our lost soul fragments from Tara, from all these ancient lands, home to heal us back to wholeness. So I was hanging out the clothes about half an hour ago. My plan was to go deep into meditation to prepare for this event, but it's been so sunny here in Scotland. I'm in central Scotland, and I was hanging out the clothes and just getting angry at the thought of the name of Magdalene that has been used in vain, shamed, locked away, and distorted over the eons. And as I continued to hang up the clothes, combine that with witch and the very same patterns, the very same persecution, the attempted eradication of witch, of Magdalene, Essenes, Cathars, Templars. It's the whole same pattern of persecution. And why? Because we are so deeply powerful. We are so openly loving. And we know and hold the Grail codes within our DNA, within each one of us. So it is a joy to be back here now, to be back here to witness and hold space for each other, and to step in and recreate these ancient new temples that we're being called forth into, and to live into our new earth, which I call five-dimensional Tara. So before we start, I have a short trailer that I'm going to share with you that is part of this beautiful event. And I do invite you to really relax into what is going to be a very meditative, deep, enriching, storytelling, shamanic series of sharings and transmissions over the course of our time together. And enjoy this trailer that I've created for you. Welcome to the Golden Grail, the rise of the Magdalene witches, summer solstice, soul gathering. Our chalice for the voice of the Magdalenes to be shared. Because we made a pact to return, and with the wisdom teachings intact, now we share them. And I'm your creator and host, Eimear Stassin, and I hope you enjoy each and every one of these unique, soulful conversations. Now let's dive in. Let's dive in. So I hope you could hear that okay. And you're asking to turn up the volume, so perhaps it's my volume or your volume. Turn up the volume. Let's see what we can do. If I turn it up here, does that make any difference? So it's maximum for me. So let me know. Oh, my volume's fine. So here we are, so unique. Not fine for someone, great for someone else. So yeah, thank you for being here. And I want to open up this space now for this 6-day gathering by casting a circle of protection around us all as a global collective that is gathered here today. And also imagine a golden bubble of light that surrounds you now for your individual protection as we're diving into these topics that may, for some, trigger them or wish to suppress us again in this life. But that is not going to happen. So we need all the protection that we can get. And there's nothing better than the golden bubble of protection that surrounds each one of us now. And if there's anything that you wish to release or leave outside of your protective bubble for the time that we're together here, then imagine a portal opening up beneath your feet. And that all of that no longer serves you is released into this portal beneath you. And then close the portal and seal it with golden magma liquid. And let's take a few breaths here in this space at this palpable, powerful time of summer solstice, as the rose is blooming even greater still, encouraging each one of us to bloom as well. So really sinking in to this space. And I can feel the nervous excitement within me, like we have waited eons for this time to come. And here we are now. So I'll share with you what we're going to be exploring today. It will be, as I said, a series of transmissions, storytelling, sacred storytelling, poetry, and words that have been gifted to me to share with you at this time. And also the series of events that were breadcrumbs. If you too are on the soul path, the soul trails, we follow these breadcrumbs, these nudges and whispers from our soul, from the witches, from whoever is your guide. And I'll be sharing some of that with you. And then I didn't know until today, I was a bit of a nervous wreck, to be honest, going on my walks with the dog. And what are we going to be exploring today? And it really came through last minute, as the Magdalene witches like to play with me in that way, to really trust and have faith that the information will arrive in divine timing. So we're going to go on a deeply powerful meditative journey, shamanic journey. And on this journey, we will be opening up portals into various aspects that will support you in your rising up, in your connection with the Golden Grail, and with your renewed connection as a Magdalene witch. And I'm loving these love hearts, the red one and then the beautiful black one from Kate, who is speaking in this soul gathering. And yeah, where do we start? Where do we start? How about we say hi to everyone first, because there's lots of chats going on. Hearing me, where's the chat gone? Here, okay. Woo, look at all this chat. Oh my goodness me. Hello, everyone. We are here from Texas, Los Angeles, Dublin in Ireland, Paris. Haha, Michelle saying YouTube knows how much power we have. Oh yes. From Chattanooga in the United States, Wisconsin, London, Prestwick in Scotland. Hi, Laura. Netherlands, Italy, New York, the Midlands of England, Wisconsin, Cape Town. Oh my goodness, Connecticut, San Diego, Hawaii, Maryland, on the beach. Wow. If I was near a beach today, I too would have been on the beach. But literally, the clouds have been rolling in as we've been going live. I think the Colliach Witch is with us. Hi, Nan from Westport and Mayo, Rose in Austria, Lincolnshire, New Mexico. Oh my goodness, Columbus, Lake Chapala. Wow, Sweden, New Brunswick in Canada, Wales, Nottinghamshire. Oh, I love really connecting with all these parts that you're in, the Blue Ridge Mountains in the US, the Jersey Shore, Margaret in New York, Katarina, Ruprecht. I hope I've pronounced that right, in Germany. Alabama, California. Wow. Wow, wow. Well, welcome to everyone. Asheville, Slovenia. I just can't help it. Aphrodite and Adelaide in Australia. I love that. All the A's. West Virginia. A bit smoky in New York City. It sure is, isn't it? Arizona. Tracy Down Under. Hi, Tracy. Sylvia in Germany. Sandra in Dublin, living in Waterford. From Dublin, living in Waterford. Oh gosh, I hope you can all read and feel into this gorgeous energy as we're gathering here. There's so many of us. Suzanne from Edinburgh. Hi, we're neighbours. And Rosemary in Glasgow. That's lovely. We've a few people here from Scotland as well. We are truly circling the globe, aren't we? Rain is now washing it all away. Oh, that's good, Panya. That's great. And hello to everyone over on YouTube as well. Oh, Dee and Wicklow, gorgeous to have you here. Deirdre in Ontario. I love that we've two Deirdres here. Gorgeous. Hi, Phoenix. It's lovely to have you here too. We are going live with Phoenix tomorrow morning. So you are our next live speaker, and Valerie from Limerick. Gorgeous to see you all over on YouTube as well. Oh, hello from Fairbanks in Alaska. I could actually just do this, and I kind of sense some of you are going, can we get on with this? But I could just say all night, keep saying hello to you all and feel into these parts of the world, because we're grounding in physically where we are. We're activating the land beneath us. And today we'll be triple activating with where we'll be going on our meditation journey. So without further ado, let's dive into this content and what we're exploring. And I do want to invite in and ground into where we are now and the energies of the witches who've supported me over the last few years on my journey in helping me step out and reclaim my true voice, because I'd totally forgotten what that was. And that's an unfolding, as you'll all know, like the ever unfolding rose. And I'd also love to invite in my father, Arthur, or Art, who's in spirit form, who has been supporting me on this journey as a divine father and cajoling me and nudging me on as well. And feel free to invite who you wish to call in for this journey today, and feel the circle of support around us all now. We have so much support here in the universe, the multi-dimensional portals that are opening up now to support us and to gift us back the wisdom that we've been killed so many times, too many times for. So with that, let me share. It's hard to know where to begin, to be honest, but let's step onto the spiral and begin with the witch awakening that happened for me on the Lions Gate, August 2020, when I went on mock trial for being a witch. And I was on tour in the Edinburgh dungeons. So I'd gone down into the darkness, into the dungeon, to then connect with this ignition of a flame of remembrance within me, reminding me that this had happened to me. And not only that, that my journey would be to reclaim witch and bring healing to the word witch from then on in. I didn't know it at that stage. But later on, as I went up to the Witch's Well in Edinburgh Castle Esplanade, which is 555 Edinburgh Castle Esplanade, incidentally. So I always associate the 555 with the witches as this number of creativity and our creative voice expression into the world. Their mantra came through, which many of you here will know by now: witches, rise up, return to your power. Witches, rise up, now is the hour. Witches, rise up and step onto your throne. Witches, rise up, it's time to come home, which is exactly what we are doing today. So beyond being a beautiful mantra and an activating mantra, this mantra has actually changed the course of my life from then on in. So my first summit in relation to witches was healing the witch wound back in 2020. And that's when I remembered being strangled as a witch and when my voice was quenched and put out. So it set me on a healing journey of voice, of speaking up, of speaking out, of sharing my truth in the form of storytelling, poetry, and whatever way. And the Cailleach, of course, came. I say of course because she's so strongly with me now. She came through in her many forms and faces, stripping away all those lies and conditioning and distortions that I'd been living my life from as the good girl. Nothing wrong with that. Going through a corporate career, being on brand. It's good to be on brand. However, we're reclaiming our own brands now. And my very first summit before that in 2019 had been, where's the F in leadership? Because I was already delving into feminine leadership. And what is that? What does that mean? And it was like something that I just couldn't really grasp and get my hands on. So I created a summit around it to invite the experts in. After healing the witch wound, there was such a surge of energy in this community amongst fellow witches and people who also didn't resonate with the word. In fact, it brought up a lot of shadow aspect, triggering, wounding, because we're all on this healing journey together. And then Witches Rise Up in 2021 became a call to action to continue with the healing and rise up. Heal, rise, heal, rise. It's a spiral, like a volcano. And then last year was Witches Reclaiming the Round Table. So some of you may have been on all of these summits. Maybe this is your first time at a soul gathering of this kind. And in November at Samhain time last year, Witches Reclaiming the Round Table was all about reclaiming our seat beside the divine knights at the round table. And sitting at the round table to use as a portal for good, but also to connect with the shadow aspect and heal our wounding from past lives. And then in came this, the Golden Grail, the rise of the Magdalene witches. They just drop in, you know. I thought it'd be another year before our next one. So yeah, some are sharing, and I know you've been here for the whole witchy journey and what I thought was the trilogy of witch summits, but now this is the 4th witch summit and my 5th in total. Yes. So here we are. And gosh, so since then, there have been so many different experiences. I should say I am writing a book. I'm saying that out loud, so now I have to do it. I've been saying this for a few years now. But what I'm sharing today will be in this book that is birthing through me with the support of my father and the Magdalene witches. So in December 2022, I'd forgotten about this session that I'd had with Cheryl Prince, who is closing out this soul gathering on summer solstice and is doing a live soul retrieval. So be there if you can. And Osset came in, who is the pure form of Isis, another name for Isis. And she gifted me a Golden Grail wand. Now I'd forgotten about this, and something spurred me on this week to go back and re-listen to that channeled session. And I listened and could not believe I'd totally forgotten, but my subconscious and soul had not forgotten this gift from Osset, because it came through in my poetry, which some of it is what I'll read to you today. So it is Auset, which is another name for Isis, Osset. And with this Golden Grail wand, which is like a scepter for me that I was holding in my left hand, I realized only this morning that this is a portal opener. So today in our shamanic journeys, we are going to be portal jumping. Isn't that magical? So the portal opener works with pi, the symbol pi. Most of our temples and sacred sites have a kind of pie-shaped opening to enter into these multidimensional healing realms. And this morning, I hope this is all making sense, because I feel like I have so much to share with you. So buckle in. I think we'll be here for at least 90 minutes, but it will be on YouTube afterwards, because some of you need to go and, you know, eat and live life. Yeah, portal jumping. And RM is saying I had a vision of this a couple of weeks ago. So it just shows how we are so connected in all of this, aren't we? This morning, Osset then, as I was preparing for this and going, what am I going to share? You know, it was all a jumble within me. She came forth, reminding me of my Golden Grail wand. Show them. Help them remember Tara, which is our future earth. This Golden Grail wand is a tool to support us to open these sacred portals, to access the hidden mysteries and sacred texts, the ancient lore and true laws. This is what Osset is guiding us forth. So we will connect with the wings of Osset and adorn our golden crown and go off to jump portals. But not yet. There's more story to share with you before then. And what I noticed is the start of Osset's name, AU, is the symbol for, anyone know? Gold. AU, aurum, gold. And I had a beautiful experience. Oh, Anna's asking, do you send a replay of the Zoom? I send the YouTube out afterwards, so you'll get the replay. And if anyone has purchased lifetime access, you will also get a downloadable form of this as well, and all the talks. More gifts, which is still at the rate of £55 at this current time. Little sales pitch there. And it does go back in towards creating these events. And 10% is going to Cheryl Prince to support her play about the witches and witch persecution called Awaken. That felt like a little advert intermission there, didn't it? Because I had a real connection with gold a number of years ago when I visited the Museum of Archaeology in Dublin. And I went to the gold section. Gold in Irish is ore. O, father, R, ore. Ore. I love it. Gold. And it was like the gold was calling me, singing to me, come over here, come here. The gold is calling you. And there are hordes of golds found on sacred sites around Ireland and beyond, which is why I wear my gold here. This is gold on one side and silver on the other. It's like a protective talisman, because I was connecting with the healing aspect of golds that our ancients knew. It's why they wore and adorned themselves in this jewelry of the torques and the bands and the crown and the clasps, because they knew the healing qualities of gold as this royal, noble, stable element. So Osset supports us in reconnecting with our gold as the highest vibration, because this is all about sinking in, stepping in, tripping over the threshold into our new earth, whatever way we are going there. And I suspect all of you here are already on this path. We are here. Our new earth is here. We're living into it, feeling into it. So gold, being number 79, Aurum on the periodic table, has a huge presence in my life. And this is, of course, the Golden Grail, which is very important. So the Golden Grail wand that we will be working with activates the land, opens and closes the portals, which is important. And these portals is the highest light and resonance. So it's a tool to reclaim our light, our gnosis, and our knowing. All of that we have been cut off, suppressed, severed, killed, burnt, drowned from. We have these powerful tools to reclaim. So that was December 2022. Portal jump to February 2023. And if any of you have been following my work, I did a storytelling series in February 2023 that was inspired by a vision from Bridget, because she visited me at the end of my bed, which is where my father had visited me after he had passed on and died. How many years ago? 29 years ago. That might come back, that story, that might weave into this. In Italian and Spanish, it's oro, 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 oro. Oh, I love that. The connection between the languages and the linguistics and the etymology. So Bridget stepped forth, and you may have read this on the webpage for this soul gathering. And she was her presence was so palpable, so quietly powerful, so feminine, that I had to listen. And I was waking up one morning, it was coming up to Imbolc, the time of Imbolc in the belly of in February, the changing of the seasons, the changing of the guards. And Bridget stepped forth holding this flame in the palm of her hand, saying, I have held this flame for eons for you, since time began. This flame is an ancient being of pure elemental fire. And I stand before you today to remind you of this flame, because it is indeed a flame of remembrance. And Bridget continued, "This is my time, this threshold time of Bridget, because we are stepping into Tara and continuing to seed this new earth." And then she handed the flame to me, and it became this tiny spark which felt warm in the palm of my hand. And she said, "Nurture this flame, connect with this flame, feed it with your desire. Feel this flame, dance this flame, honor your inner fire." And with that, she was gone as quickly as she arrived. And my wisdom that bubbled up from that was that this is an invitation for me, for all of us, to stand in the fullness of our own power and to be the bridge to bring others with us. Flame holders, torch bearers, bridge walkers. No one's going to be left behind unless they really want to. And this is why storytelling in this way, and why I'm sharing this, is to bring you with me along with the story. It's why I'm writing a book, so that people can resonate with the story and the healing and what's happened, all the experiences along the way. So we are the bridge walkers between where we are now and where we are going, which is, wow, who knows? Oh. Because then, with the speed of lightning, on the anniversary of my father's death, on the 24th of February of this year, as part of that very powerful storytelling series, and it is available to purchase 21 days of storytelling, another advert alert, for donation. So that's on my website, eimearstassin.com. You don't need to go there now because we're in this sacred portal space. But this poem came through. And you know, I don't know if you experience that, when the words come through, it's like they take you over, they consume you, and you've got to write them down or type them up or express them in some way. So I was consumed by these sacred words that then became a poem. Yeah, Michelle, I know you'll know that, because yeah, word witches, for the word witches amongst us, this is our way, this is our mode of operating. And Christine is saying, I created a soul collagen card of Flame to Bridget in April 22. Wow, you are in the right place. Yeah, Shelley's sharing goosebumps. Michelle's saying translators for spirit. Yeah. And others paint, draw, dance, sing. You know, this is the magnificence of the witches within us and the creatives and the Magdalenes. So I did actually ask my magic wand, is it right to share all this? People know this, they've heard it. Why am I saying all this? But I had very clear instructions to read all of these sacred words and share them with you, because remember, we're walking this bridge together. So here is the transmission that came through on the 29th anniversary of my father. And why I mentioned that as well is because, as I said at the start, his presence is the divine masculine here. So thank you, Art. Glass of water. Magdalene speaks. And may I just say, I did not have a big connection with Magdalene. I had done some courses, but I didn't consider, I was more onto, you know, the Irish goddesses and witches. So Magdalene speaking and coming forth after receiving Bridget's flame was very unexpected, may I add, as a little preamble to this poem transmission. Magdalene speaks again, she's waiting. His final word, his final breath, resting now, lest we forget. From Mount Carmel Hospital to Mount Venus grave, Dublin mountains, Art the brave. resurrection, death to life, a visitation late one night. My disbelief turned to grief, and in that moment, bereft, I knew you were gone. You teach me now, your earthen daughter. You bless me with your holy waters of wisdom, knowledge, ancient teachings. These are the prayers from all his preachings. I feel your presence stronger than ever. I love you deeper now and forever. 19 years we lived together at home in Dublin, whatever the weather. Together we'll write the book from our hearts, divine Father, Holy Child. Egyptian mysteries, Magdalene sisters, Cathar's Essenes, and of course the witches. Filling the gaps of what was omitted, correcting the distortions of what was scripted. Stuck souls, thawed with dragon's breath, released, healed, home to source. Emerald hearts shall rise again. 5 months after your final breath, you saved me from undoubtable death. So with my breath of life I speak, of resurrection, we're diving deep. Oh yes, we are. Into the mysteries, wisdom and gnosis, resurrecting the truth of what was stolen. And art responds. With golden crown and wings of Isis, I knight you now, sweet Magdalene. Priestess, witch, holy daughter, resurrection teachings, you are the sorcerer. Dissolving density, ascending consciousness, born anew, rebirth, young daughter. 5D Tara, 7D Gaia, return to love your heart's desire. In the temple of Dendera, Mother Mary, Hathor, Isis, here we wait for you. Bridget's flame is the Magdalene flame. Oh. Your inner flame that guides forever. We are the Magdalenes, we're back together. All that was suppressed, distorted, resting on unlikely altars. Reclaim that gnosis. We are today. Tabernacle flung wide open, now reclaim what was stolen. Golden chalice, water, wine, his bread, my body, all that's divine. We come in peace to correct the story. We come in glory. We are the story. Yeshua walked upon these lands. Apostles dear, reach out your hand. Magdalene sisters, blood red, resurrecting souls, living and dead. Be not afraid. I go before you, divine fathers, we adore you. Follow me, home to source. Follow the flame, eye of Horus. Crucifixion wasn't that pleasant. Humanity's deepest, darkest oppression, power over or source connection. Please pay very careful attention. We are here. We hold the flame, the way of the rose, the Golden Grail. Inner union with the mysteries, golden rose, resurrection. Magdalene sisters surround you now. Step forth, be brave, sweet Magdalena. Oh, wow. So interesting reading that now in the context of this soul gathering and how our soul speaks and percolates these ideas to us through the written word, the sacred text, the ancient scripts that we're excavating and remembering for this time. Yeah. And thank you to my dad and to the Magdalenes for channeling this. Because when I read this now, when I wrote it at the time, I was going, what? Like, what? I'm over here with the witches. You just hang out over there with the Magdalenes and in Egypt. So the bridge is forming. Yeah. Thank you all for your love and messages. Woohoo! Oh, I feel summoned up. Yeah. It's very much, it feels like a march, doesn't it? And yeah, there's a real rhythm to it. So that was on the 24th of February. So we're rolling on a little hop to March time. And this was actually part of the same storytelling series where I was focusing on bread. And this knowing that the goddess, as we flung the tabernacle wide open, the tabernacle is where the sacred consecrated host is held. That's accessible by the priest who holds the key to this tabernacle until today, because it's the goddess that has always been the one that sustains us. Everything has been inverted, distorted, twisted, and we have been chopped out. I say we as in the feminine part of all of us, of humanity, which is how we're so out of balance. But the goddess has always been here and always been the one who sustains us, who feeds us, nourishes us, births us, and reclaims us. Births us and reclaims us. Isn't that beautiful? So it is she who activates these cycles in the spiral, the triple spiral of life, death, and rebirth. It's why Newgrange, Brunabonia in Ireland's ancient East is so powerful, because when you go into the womb tomb, the triple spiral is at this carved onto the stone at the very back of the chamber. And this is also a pie portal to travel through and into. And she of the Magdalene flame is the one of the same as Bridget's flame. And Yeshua and Magdalene, as you will all know, worked together. So we need her back. We yearn for her, dream of her, and beg for her return. And when we eat the bread and drink the blood, we are proclaiming the rebirthing of the Magdalene witches, who now come in glory to guide us home to source. Bread of wisdom, bread of truth, bread connects us to our roots. The Golden Grail is activating, and Bridget holds the flame to reconcile all these parts within us back to wholeness. And the Magdalenes want their bread back, and so does Bridget. Just saying. So bread and all that was contained in the tabernacle as that was flung wide open in that poem began to take a deeper meaning for me, because the Israelites traveled with the tabernacle that was a portable tent with 4 poles. But inside was the inner chamber of sanctity, of holiness. And that is the tabernacle. And this is what we're going to be reclaiming today, these sacred, holy gifts that are our birthrights and should never have been taken from us in the first place. But that's okay. We can get angry. It's not okay, but it's okay to get angry and to go back there. Yeah, because we've got to heal these parts too. How are we doing? Because there's more. And it does get a bit gritty in this next bit, because sweet Magdalena had more to say on this topic of what had happened to her name over the eons. And I feel it is by naming this, it's not shaming anything that's happened. It's actually reclaiming, in a way, reclaiming the wound to heal that within us, from us, and transmute it. So, that Monique is saying so many pieces of the puzzle falling into place. Very powerful. Wow. Leanne saying, what's your definition of witch? Wow, we'll come to that. Come back to that. Chris, hi Chris. So sacred and powerful. Yes, magical. Magdalene, yes, Magdalene. Sonia sharing reminds me of the women in Dublin, Ireland, and the Magdalene laundries, yeah, all over Ireland, with such terrible, sad, horrific history. I hope these Magdalene women, past, present, have found restitution of their lives stolen. Yeah, and that's still ongoing. And two of our speakers speak specifically about the Magdalene laundries in Ireland. And if you were here or go back and listen to the very beginning where I share what was coming through as I was hanging out the laundry just before this call. Yeah, so we are honouring all of these parts of Magdalene and reclaiming this power. So the next part of this story is moving on to mid-March of this year. And this knowing of how I've been playing this patriarchal game was rising up to the surface. And part of me, when this happens, it's like, not again. Come on, haven't we healed these? Haven't we spoken about this? Can't we move on? That other part of me is going, no, not until you acknowledge this, recognize this, and heal and place this sacredly to rest. They took us out like lambs to slaughter, helpless. We could not alter the course of his story as it played out across these lands. Oh, the torture that we endured, the pain, the horror. But we refused to speak. We refuse to share the wisdom of the Golden Grail. Grail codes, sacred mysteries, resurrection rites, held sacred within our hearts and wombs, within our bodies, until such time as it was safe for our souls to connect and reveal these codes once again. They feared us, feared our peace, feared our power, and didn't want to understand our unity with the all. Our lack of interest in their gods riled them. We saw through the stories that they spun to try to win us over and make us speak, to crack us open through gritted teeth. They made us weep, all right. Tears of blood, anger, rage, tears of pain, horror, and shame. We burned the gnosis in our hearts and buried it deep within our souls and our wombs. And we entered the endless reincarnation cycles, stuck in shame. We played the patriarchal game. We played it so well, in fact, that we became hardwired to fear our own innate power, forgetting those times of yesteryear. But we made a pact to return. And with these teachings intact, now we retrieve them and share them. We're rebuilding our inner temples that were torn down. Bridget and the Magdalene witches hold the sacred flames, and now so do all of you as the feminine rises within us to support our completion of this Golden Grail promise. The Golden Grail, she rises, resurrecting Magdalene witches, returning to reclaim what was stolen from us. And Bridget continues to hold that flame for peace to reign. It is done. Can't help kind of spitting that out a bit. Bit of venom there, bit of healing needed. But yes, we've got to acknowledge this. And I forgot I wrote those words back in March and how prominently this is played in to this soul gathering now. Breadcrumbs, all connecting and interconnected in this web of life. So a final part of this before we go in to our shamanic journey is a final story about the tabernacle, the golden tabernacle, which has already come in today. Thank you for sharing that, Michelle. Very emotional, brought tears. And release and teeth chattering. Yeah, I can really feel there's a lot going on within me as well. So thank you. We are holding you here and supporting all of you through this alchemical process. Yes. So there's a photo that I retrieved from home, which is Dublin, which I still call home, and Scotland is my other home. And I don't know why I brought it back. I framed it, and it sits just above the laptop here. So if you see me looking up, I'm looking at the photo, and it's all my family, my dad, my mom, my other two sisters, and my brother, and it's his confirmation. We were raised Catholic, and we're standing on the altar of our local church, and this photo is taken. And the women amongst us, the children, as we were all dressed in red. And only recently I realized we are like the Magdalene sisters. Now, my sisters and my mum probably don't call each other that, but it seemed really obvious. And then to the right of my dad's head, as he's winking over, is the golden tabernacle. This beautiful portal, and the sun shines in here. It shines on that golden tabernacle to catch my eye. There's an immensity of deep gifts in there for us all to reclaim. But also written on the altar in golden, beautiful golden lettering is, I am the bread of life. That if you've been raised in the Christian faith may know that phrase. But that triggered something in me all over again. And I realized that there she is, hiding in plain sight, all along, for those with eyes to see, right under our noses, within the golden tabernacle. And I've just seen someone said the volume's very low on YouTube. So is that the case for everyone? Hopefully you can hear. Golden tabernacle portal, a portal into the wilderness, a sacred room, holy of holies, place of purity, of reverence, the place that houses the Golden Grail, of mystery and mysticism, ancient divine teachings, of gospels and stories passed down the Grail lineage, pearl, white, wisdom, pure gnosis. Wow, all that in the Golden Tabernacle. This is our virgin vessel that belongs to no one other than ourselves. Woman unto thyself, her holy womb, sacred container, birther of you from primordial mother. Drink from golden chalice. The key is yours now to reclaim all that was stolen and locked in Golden Tabernacle. Womb shaman of the right hand path. And that is where this quest led me, home to the ancient understanding of Magdalene, and then bring in the witches, and bzz, it was like this alchemical spark that ignited the divine spark within me, connecting Ireland with Bridget, opening the portal of the Golden Rose Grail, and Bridget and the Magdalenes weaving their golden threads of remembrance together, reclaiming her story, which is what today is all about. And then the day came when she realized that she already possessed her very own unique and inbuilt tabernacle. She found the right key that unlocked the box. And as she flung those tabernacle doors wide open with carefree abandon, she continued on with her original quest, one that she seeded eons ago. And she realized that her voice mattered, her life mattered. She is here for a reason that continues to unravel and unfold with every step she takes into the depths of that portal and out into the world. And so she traveled onwards, far and wide, on pilgrimage to continuing awakening the spirit of the Celtic lands within people. Bridget and the Magdalenes as apostles by her side, as well as the witches. She remembered that she was a disciple to her own unique truth, with heart ignited through the divine spark of Bridget's flame. She didn't need to fight anymore. or tear down patriarchy. Nor did she need to strive to fit into any manufactured mold. She could release the identity of being a child of colonialism and open to the dissolution of that old wound. For she knew that if she stayed in that wound for too long, she too would become immersed and eaten up by that wound and forget how to find her way back to the Golden Grail light. So she preached prayers of peace and love as pure poetry that sung of those true ancient stories and all that divine lore to activate their sacred remembrances. She told stories with the purest, powerful emerald green love that would bring our worlds back, reuniting us once again, calling all souls home to ballast homeless. And she knew that it was now time to rise up and reclaim her power, time to step onto her throne. And her every trembling cell knew that this was the awakening of the ancient Celtic gold flowing through her bloodlines. It was time to express this as Magdalene witch into everything. Getting hot over here. Hecate, it is safe to speak now, yes. Which is what we want to encourage for everyone, that we can feel safe, because I know not everyone does, and we may not all the time. Oh, you're having a big thunderstorm. Wow. Yeah, there's meant to be a thunderstorm coming this way too. Send it our way. I love thunderstorms. It's time to express this Magdalene witch into everything. Yes. So that's just a little taster of what's going in my book. It doesn't belong to me. It's for everyone. And the series of breadcrumbs and events that has led to this beautiful, sacred happening. And it is why I've called all the souls, all 25 of us, soulful speakers, to speak into their part of the thread of the web, their part of the puzzle, as Magdalene, as witch, as Grail quest seeker, or on other topics that might not on first feel connected, and yet they are so connected. So enjoy this opening of the portal for the Magdalene, for the rose lineage, for the witches, like a chalice to speak through you. Ooh, okay. Wow, we're an hour in. Blessed be, absolutely. Shall we go on a journey? I mean, these words have probably taken you on a journey already. Oh, yeah, so much heat. Yeah, there really is. Let's take a moment here and just acknowledge our human mortal flesh and all that we are transmuting and remembering, releasing, retrieving. Rosanna saying, take me on a journey. Let's go. Doesn't matter where we're going. Just let's go. We've waited so long for eons. And can you just imagine, like when you think about it, it's mind-blowing really, of all the factors and the conditions that have to be in situ, in place for this time. And all of us here, whether you view yourself as an old soul or a new soul, we planted these seeds eons ago to be here. Isn't that crazy and amazing and beautiful? So yes, let's go on this journey. And just before we do, the pre-journey is I'm going to share some pictures. So if you haven't been to these places on the land of Eru, Ireland, these sacred emerald green islands connected to the Celtic lands, then we will go here virtually. For this is the place of Loch Gur, where we're going to begin our journey. And Loch Gur, I was overcome with such peace and tranquility. It was like a spell had been cast upon me when I visited here. It was back in 2021, actually. We were on the way to Dingle, which is where my mother's from, my soul home. And I can't believe I hadn't been here before. Well, I had, but not in this lifetime. So we are going to be diving in to the magical waters of Loch Gur that is resided over by goddess witch Eimear, who is the queen, the triple goddess of this summer solstice time. And I will share more during the when we're in the meditative base state. And this green hill here is Knockadune, and one of the entrances to Tirnanog, the land of the forever young, is within the cave of the echoes at Knockadune Hill. Isn't that just so poetic? So we will be going there as well today. And this is Eimear with her artwork by Margaret McKenna of CelticMyths.ie. And Eimear rides her red mare around Loch Gur, shapeshifts into red mare as well, and rides atop her. And you can see her cloak here has scales, fish scales on it. For Eimear is the triple goddess, mermaid, fairy queen, witch. And her hair is ablaze like the golden rays of sunlight that shine so brightly at this time of summer solstice in the northern hemisphere. And they say that Eimear created Loch Gur, which is horseshoe shaped. And this is a witch's chair that was beautiful to sit on with the hawthorn tree growing out of it. So I'm sharing these so you'll know where we're going in our journey. And there are many, many sites of settlements around Loch Gur. It is truly a magical, ancient place of reverence, ceremony, and ritual. And the shield was found here, the Loch Gur shield, with this writing on it about the fairies, and also likening Eimear to the banshee as the spirit of Loch Gur, comforting the dying, so that their soul would transfer and transport safely to the other world in Tirnanog. And this is the Grange Stone Circle. So if you watched the trailer for this soul gathering, you would have seen part of the video. But this is the entrance here. During our meditation, the summer solstice rising sun shines through this portal entrance. And look at these stones as guardians. And this is ash tree over the other side of the circle. And this is the Grange Stone Circle with 113 stones. It's magnificent. I just can't wait to go there with you now in this journey. Oop. And then Ranach Crumdove is the largest of the stones in the Grange Stone Circle, weighing up to 40 tons. And I'll share more on our journey. And that's the backside of the stone. So you can see that it's higher up on the outside than on the inside. It's been dug in to the ground here. And there's Riley, my dog. He's a bit younger, puppier then. He's over there asleep. So that is where we're going. So if you want, come join me. And I'm going to share Lochgar so you can watch this. So if you get comfortable where you are, yeah, the witch's chair with the hawthorn growing out. And when you sit in the chair, you're looking at Lochgar. And I've just called it the witch's chair because that's what it felt. That's how it spoke to me, sitting on that stone throne. The shield, yeah. The bronze shield. Yeah, that's gorgeous. People that have been there. Oh, Michelle's saying it's your chair. So I already shared parts of this in our Mentorship for Witches program, another advert, the 12-month journey of the witch's wheel that I guide people on, that's rooted in the land of Eru. So if you want to know more, you can check out my website, eimearstassin.com. I like these little side adverts. Seem to flow in very easily. It's magical. Michelle's part of the 12-month program of this current spin of the wheel. And so is Laura, who's here today too. Gorgeous. Wow. Ad breaks. Yeah. We should have some music as well. Okay. Getting comfortable where you are. And maybe shaking off if there's anything that's stirred within you. And the number of people here is just so beautiful. One stage we had 134, I think. And so many watching over on YouTube as well. 50 watching. Just beautiful. Wonderful 12-month journey with our fellow witches. Yes. And not everyone resonates or feels they're a witch, but we still get people joining that don't. But by the end you will. No, it's not a criteria. Okay. So shaking off anything that may have stirred up for you in the meantime. Maybe if you need to take Kate saying, ha 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 ha, you will be bewitched by Eimear, by Anya, by any of those who reside over the wheel. I'm no witch, Michelle says. Yeah. Kicking and screaming. You're a word witch, Michelle, whether you like it or not. But that's it. It's archetypes, isn't it, that we resonate with, which is why I love the electrical feeling of Magdalene witch. Okay. Let's go in on our journey and sharing Lochgar, the beautiful space that is Lochgar in the magical lands of Eru, where the Magdalene name hasn't been treated the best, shall we say. But we are reclaiming her name. Ooh, sorry, just reorganizing things here. We are reclaiming her gnosis. We are reclaiming all of who she is and was and shall be again. So as you're comfortable, exactly where you are, there is nowhere else that you need to be right now at this time and space. You are in the exact right place, either live or in the replay. For we are going to go on a journey to Lochgar to experience these waters. And we invite in the presence of Anya in her mermaid form. Anya, brightness, Anne or Anna in Irish, who connects with the grandmother of Yeshua. And in her mermaid form reminds us of the Mer people, Mary, the Magdalenes. And imagining yourself now in a sacred space in nature, maybe a place you go to often, or a place that comes to mind. And we're inviting in also the energies of Osset in her purest form. And as Osset steps through to this space, she is holding her Golden Grail wand. For I am her, and she is me, and she is you. And she hands me the Golden Grail wand to open the portal, inviting you to step through to Loch Gur. And as you step through this portal, feel the quality and the fresh softness of the green grass beneath your feet. And smell the warmth of this summer fresh air. And feel the breeze upon your face and body, as the remembrance of the times you walked these lands percolates up and flows through you and stirs something within you. For we as a race, as the Celts, as the Irish, whatever we call ourselves, we have traveled far and wide. And also over eons, parts of our souls have been fragmented, shattered, fractured through trauma, soul loss. So we are reclaiming these parts of ourselves as we walk these lands in pilgrimage and sacred remembrance. And as you step forward towards the water's edge, guided by Anya, these Loch Gur waters are very special because the springs originate from ancient subterranean reservoirs that preserve masses of fresh water in this pristine state for millennia before it gradually percolates up to the surface. So this is primordial water, pure, pristine, and carries ancient crystalline codes for these times. And these waters have a Lemurian quality of magic, of purity, of light, of mystery. So we invite you to dip your toe into these pure crystalline waters. And as Anya takes your hand, she invites you to shapeshift into your mermaid form. And as you do, you dive deep into these clear waters that have been warmed from the summer solstice sunshine and are being recoded and upgraded with this golden sunlight. As emerald green fairies dance with glee that you are here and have returned. And feel these pristine waters against your skin. Notice your mermaid's tail, so beautiful, shiny and scaly. And notice how you can swim fast, swiftly, aerodynamically in your mermaid form. As your hair flows behind you and you feel light and free and held within the womb of the great mother, within these primordial womb waters. For you are here on a mission. And that mission is to connect with the treasure chest that is awaiting for you beneath these waters at Loch Gur. And once you have located this treasure chest, Anya, as mermaid, hands you the key. And as you hold the key in your mermaid hand, you feel more remembrances and memories returning. You place the key in the lock of the box and you turn it once, twice, 3 times, and the lid pops open. And as you take a deep breath, you are overcome by the quality of the light and the depth of the treasures that lie within. And Anya invites you to retrieve these treasures now, for they belong to you. These are the hidden treasures that are your soul fragments that were once lost and now you have found. In the greatest soul reunion that this world has ever known or experienced. So you gather up your treasures and just notice in what form they present themselves to you. As items, as energies, as light codes, as sweet sacred words whispered through you. And receive in the way you know how. And as you swim back to the surface of Loch Gur in these crystalline waters, Anya guides you to the edge of the loch once again. And you shapeshift back to your human form. And Osset steps forth again and opens another pie portal encased in golden light for our continued protection on this journey. And she guides you to jump through this portal and into Tirnanog, the land of the forever young. And she closes the Loch Gur portal behind you. And you enter Tirnanog through the cave of the echoes on Knockadune Hill. which is on the other side of the Loch Gur. And as you make your way through the cave, you're remembering something that you had forgotten. For this cave feels like a sacred womb portal with crystalline qualities that adorn the rocky caverns. And as you speak or sing, it is like a sounding chamber that heals. And as you emerge out the other side of the cave, it feels like you're being born anew all over again. For Tir na Nog is the land of the forever young. But it is not youth in the way we know it, of wearing creams or taking medication to remain young. No. This is about the youth and eternity of our souls. Our pure, pristine souls that remember all of the lives and existences that we've had. And your soul is going to Tara through Tir na Nog. For within this portal, we are being called to remember what Tara, or our new earth, is like, what it was and what it will be. And so notice the silky white waterfalls that fall from rocky cliffs, and the beautiful lush green trees, the call of the birds and the animals, and the clarity of the pristine river waters that flow over your bare feet. This is a place of peace, of harmony, of where our true gifts can be expressed freely, without judgment, without question. A place where space is held and every part of you is welcome. And as you make your way through the lush green forest of Tara, step out onto the sandy beach to take your seat at the bonfire that is lit for you for this time. And as the faces of your fellow sisters and brothers glow in the embers of the fire, it's time to portal jump again. For we are going to make our way through the portal that Osette has opened up for us with her Golden Grail wand. And we make our way to the Grange stone circle. And the summer solstice sun is just beginning to rise. As you circle the outside of the circle in ritual and honor because you step forth up the narrow passageway of the stone circle, this sacred entrance way where only the pure of heart may enter at this time of summer solstice. And that is you. For you are the pure of heart. You have been cleansed in the waters of Loch Lur, and you have remembered who you are in Tirnanog and Tara. And now you make your way, guided by Anya, Oset, and the sun and his golden rays, into the center of the Grange stone circle. And as you walk barefoot upon these grassy lands, notice what memories percolate and surface for you. For these lands are welcoming you home with open arms. And the emerald green fairies are out to dance along with you. And as the summer solstice rising sun shines his rays into the center of this huge circle of 113 stones, you can feel safe in the knowing that this space is guarded by the ancient trees of Ireland, by the divine Father and Night, so feel the warmth of the golden sun's rays upon your face and body. Open to the activation of the Golden Grail codes within you, within your blood, within your DNA. And drink from the golden chalice all of these primordial light codes. For Anya wishes to remind you to stand in the spotlight of your own becoming, to be the torch, because you are the torch. And in the center of this circle, this is your place of sovereignty, of power, of balance and harmony. The stone circle is the witch's wheel. And you make your way over to the largest of the stones, Ranach Crumdove, Crumdove's division. And this 40-ton stone is a marker for a very powerful energy portal. So you're invited now to place your hands and your forehead, your third eye, against this massive stone. And feel the energies that flow through you. Receive the activations, the resonance. For each of these stones has been placed very consciously on these spots to connect with the energy portals and ley lines that crisscross our earth. And as you make your way back to the center of this circle, Set appears again and opens another portal. And this time, it's to the temples of ancient Egypt. And she closes the portal to the Grange stone circle behind you. And as you make your way through this portal, just notice where you are brought to. Is it a temple that you know of? Or is it a new temple that we're being called to create? Just open to where you are being brought. For within this temple, we are reclaiming the royal Magdalene bloodlines of pure nobility, of stability, of peace, of golden resonance. For this is our divine template that we are reclaiming. So within this temple, notice if there's anybody else present to support your journey. And laid out upon the altar is that golden tabernacle. And the tabernacle doors are open, this sacred container that is opened for you to retrieve the ancient texts within the coded books that contain the symbols, the codes, and the keys. These books that you buried long ago until it was safe for this time to retrieve. You retrieve these ancient texts now and notice how you can read them by holding your hands over them and feeling the energy with light language like Braille, or let the symbols commune with you. Like musical notes are emerging from these sacred texts, singing to you. And as you retrieve this ancient book, you are retrieving the ancient primordial songs that have healing, protective resonance, that open our chakras wide to receive the ancient gnosis. For we are excavating the new template and mystical ways through portal jumping in this way. And like with a treasure chest beneath Loch Gur, this tabernacle in ancient Egypt temple also contains your treasures, your soul parts. This is part of the Golden Grail quest with Osset, Bridget, the Magdalenes, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Hathor, the Cailleach witch. All these ancient deities in their purest of form, supporting your journey. And now we return to our final portal that Osette opens with her Golden Grail wand and closes the portal to Egypt. And this final portal is returning once again to the lush, abundant, fertile place of Tara. For now you have retrieved your treasures in the watery womb of the primordial mother and retrieved them from the golden tabernacle of ancient Egypt. So this is supporting your ascension to crystalline unity consciousness, to open to receive the emerald crystalline hearted codes and the golden Magdalene witch codes. For as you step into this lush new earth of Tara, we invite you to call the lost souls of Tara home. Home to heal and integrate within you, within others, and that this process will naturally unfold. For we are held here within this Grail chalice container for all these emotions to be felt, to flow. Remember this place of Tara in this great reunion. And now it's time to return through the portal back to where you began this journey at your sacred space in nature. As Osette closes the portal to 5D Tara, and you arrive back on the spiral to your sacred space, transformed, rebirthed anew. You feel different, lighter, like you have shed a lot of density. For what we have actually guided you through here is the Magdalene resurrection process of living resurrection, ascending into a higher, lighter state of consciousness in a whole new way. For this is the gnosis that we are retrieving, and these are the Magdalene ways. And so, Magdalene witches, we rise up and return to our power. Magdalene witches, we rise up because now is the hour. Magdalene witches, we rise up and step onto our throne. Magdalene witches, we rise up. It is time to come home. And as you continue to integrate this journey within you, within your cells, your DNA, consider now, what is the Golden Grail for you now? How does it present itself to you? And who is Magdalene Witch now? And how does she pertain to you? For Magdalene Witch is the keeper of the Golden Grail flame. She who watches, she who holds space, she who has waited for this time to come. And this is the pact that we made to return with the wisdom teachings intact to complete our Golden Grail promise. The Golden Grail, the rise of the Magdalene witches, her story has spoken. So you can take a moment here just now to allow all of this to continue to flow through you. And if you wish to take some time to take notes, you can do so now, or you can share in the chat once you've come back how this journey resonated. And if you're watching this as the replay, you can also write in the comments. For now, we share as Magdalene sisters and witches. And as we continue to reclaim our soul parts, our treasures, our gifts, our ancient text knowings, we are co-creating our new earth, that place that we all know so well. So welcome back, everyone, to this space. Those of you that are still here, wow, there's still a lot of us still here. Thank you for going on this journey and for portal jumping through all these spaces together, and to trust this process as well. Yeah, and take all the time you need. Greta saying, I had a vision of a big baby in a cupboard with big brown beautiful eyes looking at me. Beautiful. Oh, so many love emojis. Thank you for this beautiful offering, incredible journey, deep gratitude. Still here and where I am in the States. A storm came through during the meditation. Wow, I love that. Monique says, thank you. That was so beautiful and healing, still processing. Deborah saying, amazing. Sylvia, wow, lots of dancing circles, dancing with light and fire and love. Blessings, divine dancers, joy. Sherry sharing sacred. Jennifer, thanks so much, Eimear. Very tingly. Yes, so many tingles going on. Wow, and Christy's saying storming here too the whole time. It was so powerful. Woo! Thank you. And Suzanne saying the rose line, yeah. And I heard, if anyone knows Magenta Pixie, I was watching one of her YouTubes. And this time of summer solstice is particularly potent on the lands of the UK. And she mentions Scotland in particular, and the rose line, which is why I showed that picture of the rose at the very end. Though we are in such a powerful portal, reclaiming these rose lineages and the golden rose, which is what I very much resonate with. So Julia is sharing, thank you so much. Working from home, I was able to catch the beauty and experience together. Oh, gorgeous. Such a blessing, a gift to be here. It absolutely is. Michelle is saying, I feel as if I went really deep. Yeah. Tingly feet here too. Greta's saying, Katerina, beautiful, powerful, lots of releasing and deep inner knowing. Thank you so much. Brandy's, this is beautiful start to my day as I go out to take care of the elders in their homes. That is so gorgeous. And you will bring the resonance of the Golden Grail and this magic with you. Oh, Michelle is saying you always allow the words to flow. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. Yes. The Book of Wisdom I put on my desk in my sacred space is a lovely journey. Colette shares. Thank you. Shelley sharing a golden column that's still with me. I nuzzled into it like a beloved dog. Wow. Liberty, beautiful. Thank you. Feels like homecoming. Yes. So powerful, deep awakening. Tracy sharing portal, powerful portal jumping experience. Feel more whole and embodied. Body, soul, mind is one powerful feminine. Yes. Thank you. Sarah's sharing, I saw actually France lands and Celtic lands merged. That is so beautiful. The lands of the Magdalene in France and the Celtic lands. Wow. Such as if the place here in France merged and open a portal to the Celtic lands. Wow, that is so powerful. Anya, we are the Holy Grail, beams of light forming circles, linking with other circles, dancing circles, singing, healing, honoring, reclaiming orbs. Honoring each other's orbs. Oh, that's gorgeous. Thank you. And Laura's sharing, my heart is the Golden Grail. Yes. Suzanne, thank you for the deep interconnecting divine feminine energies. You're so welcome. Such a blessing. Was drawn to walk to the rose garden for a meditation. So powerful. Storm in the background accompanying your warm voice. Exquisite. Ooh, I love that. Wow. Well, I did write a poem today about a rose that I encountered. So how about we close out with that, shall we? And before we go, I just want to share as well that I do have spaces still on the Witches Rise Up Scotland retreat, where we'll be delving deeper into the story of the witches and their gnosis. So I'll put the link in the chat. This is another advert segue if anyone wishes to join us. And there are people here that are already coming. So if you want to come to Scotland in October and walk the lands and commune with the stones with us, and please check out the Witches Rise Up in-person equinox retreat. Chris is sharing, so sacred and cellularly powerful, dear Eimear, to take this portal jumping journey with you and all of us here in sacred community. Oh, thank you so much, Chris. And I love how the witches have brought us all together in this way. I'll just do a quick check over on YouTube to see. Oh, gorgeous. Tanya's sharing the thunder making Zoom unstable. So you came over to YouTube. Magenta Pixie, I was watching her only the other day with Pam. Yes, that's the one. 3:33 is that time on the summer solstice, the 21st. So I do have 2 live calls then. So it's going to be so powerful on that day. The spiritual heart is the Holy Grail. Ah, I love that. Yes. And one of the places where they say the Holy Grail as a chalice is in Roslin Chapel, which I visited with Chris, who is here, and the Apprentice Pillar. Some people think it's inside the Apprentice Pillar, which is another beautiful story, tragic story of its creation in itself. I feel like it's a story for another day. But I will dance, sing, poet you out with this final poem as we're coming up to 2 hours. Wow. Ooh, who's got a numb bum here? Isn't that amazing? I felt this was going to be a long one. So it is as it is. This is called Kissed by the Wild Pink Rose. with stems so long adorned with sharp, strong thorns, fierce, protective thorns. That something so beautiful and delicate grows from this stocky thorn-adorned stem is a miracle. Rose bows sideways across my path as I am deep in contemplation of how we have been conditioned over the eons. Truth. Wild Rose stops me in my tracks to whisper sweet, fragrant love in my ear. I bow forward to meet and greet her, and she anoints my third eye with rose-infused love, pure, sweet love. Opening the all-seeing eye, the power of beauty as a reminder of our true source, our rose lineage, Venus, petaled flower, Magdalene witch, love. Soothing the grief-stricken heartaches of many lives lived, skin meets rose petals, body and ether. Rose grail, chalice gold, the emerald heart of the mother, mater, Máthar in Irish, primordial, ancient, wise. And she steps forth now and hands you the torch, to hold it, to feel it, to claim it. You become the torch, leading the way forth for old souls to follow, all souls to follow. The Magdalene flame is ablaze with possibility, creating new temples of Tara, Tarian temples, merging heaven and earth in the greatest alchemical rose portal. Temples of body and the mind, temples of healing and community, temples of unity and love. Love temples to remember we are love above all else. Magdalene witch, keeper of the Golden Grail flame, she who watches, she who holds space, she who has waited for this time to come. Because we made a pact to return with wisdom teachings intact. Collectively we rise to complete our Golden Grail promise. Her story has spoken. We have been kissed by the wild pink rose. So yeah, true story, that rose. And I went back and took a picture of it today. Excuse me. That's the wild rose, if anyone knows the name of it. And it literally did bow across my path and stop me in my path as I was walking in the woods. And she smells so beautiful. So thank you all for being here. Rose infused Magdalene witch, love to you. We meet again tomorrow at 10 a.m. UK time with Phoenix Popiolik. And then at 1 p.m, I think it is, with Denise Alamo and Lulu, her beautiful rose quartz crystal. So yeah, 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. tomorrow. And also we have pre-recorded treats for you as well. You will receive the day's schedule at 8 a.m. UK time tomorrow morning. And everything is on the event schedule for you to dive into. There's the most amazing array of treats and gifts from each of our speakers. These are gifts. It's like a whole transmission for me because I take them all on and avail of these gifts too. So see you again live or in the replay. And if you're watching this on YouTube, sorry, that's my dog has had enough, then you can also register to receive the daily emails at the-golden-grail.com. So that's my final advert. And Riley wants to go out. So I'll just finish off by closing up this circle that we have opened together. And thanking all our guides that were with us here today. Thank you to Art, my dad, to the Magdalene witches, to Anya, to Osset, Mary Magdalene, Hathor, Mother Mary, and anyone else who joined us today. The Emerald Green Fairies, Golden Grail quest portal is open. So enjoy this space for the next few days and notice what's flowing through you and any synchronicities. Chris is sharing, so sacred. Oh, I read that one. Yes. Well, I could read your words again, Chris. They're so powerful. Panya, still hoping Anya will grant me a way to join you. Wow. And so it will be, Panya. Wow. Leanne, I would love to come to Scotland. Will you do this again? I hope so. I hope so. Suzanne, the Rose Line, Roslyn, exactly. Yeah, Roslyn Chapel. Big yeses from Kate. I can't wait to share your talk too, Kate. Sarah, love temples. Beautiful, so grateful, sending love. Oh, so many kind thank yous. Thank you, thank you. I'm looking forward to tomorrow too. Thank you for being here. I'm going to go and have dinner now. And Riley is here now to say hi to us all. Thank you, Judy from Cheetown. Oh, can you see him, Riley? I'm reading the chat, so I can't. Oh, here he is. Riley. Good to say hello. Good to say hello. I think he's very excited by this Golden Grail quest. Jennifer, I'm definitely due a trip to Scotland. Yes, please go. Happy new moon. So it is. This is the first event I've actually done, first soul gathering event on a new moon. It's usually around the full moon. Lots of goosebumps. Thank you to everyone who was here and watching. Yes. Oh, thank you all. I could stay here all day reading your comments. Oh, Shelley, I felt that kiss. That's gorgeous. Here's to new beginnings and to the long Irish goodbye. Thank you all for being here. Riley is telling me to take him out. Yes. And to all of you here watching in the replay, we love you too. And I hope this resonates so beautifully with you. Bye for now to you all. And yes, I actually have the final part of the trailer to share with you as we go out. So enjoy this piece of music as my final parting gift to you. Sorry.